Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Leanne and I'm really excited about today's video because it is once again a part of the Try It Tuesday challenge, which is hosted by Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in just a second, but right now we're going to go ahead and get started into our DIYs. For this first DIY, by the way, these are all fall DIYs, which is probably in the title, so you already know that, but I've got this little sign that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I love this style because the back just pops right out, super easy to make it over. So we are going to take some cardstock that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I love this paper. It came in a large package. I bought it when it was 50% off. It's very thick, which means it covers really well if there's any design behind. For some reason, my pencil was not working all the way through there. That's why I kept working on it. But also, it doesn't wrinkle when you glue it because it's so thick, or at least not very easily. So we're going to cut some of that out, and I'm going to use Gorilla Glue Stick here, and we're going to attach that on. Now, this video, like I said, is part of the Try It Tuesday challenge, which is hosted by Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. You definitely should check out her channel for some really fun DIYs and some good entertainment as well. And the idea behind it is that we are to take inspiration from other creators, of course, give them credit, and maybe put our own spin on them. And that's what we're going to do today. So right now we are going to paint this frame. I am painting it with just a brown paint that I had on hand. It's just an acrylic paint. I did have to do a couple coats, but pretty much by the time I got done with the first coat, it was dry and I could do the second coat. This DIY is inspired by Crafts by Caitlin, and I will have her video linked down in the description box where she made this. And I loved this idea because I had actually done something, well, similar but different, I think last year. I'll try to remember to find it and link the video, but using these puzzle pieces. And I was going to do something again with it this year, and then I saw this idea and I was like, this is perfect. So I have a puzzle from the Dollar Tree. The reason it was just in a plastic baggie is because, like I said, I did something with these last year, and I'm just flipping them over, and we're going to paint the back side of them, which is what she did, which is way smarter than what I did last year. I painted the pattern side, and I had to do several coats. So work smarter, not harder. That's what we're doing this time. And I'm using the color Pumpkin from Waverly Chalk Paint, and we're going to make ourselves a little pumpkin. Now, when I did this last year with the puzzle pieces, I made a tree, and I did several different shades of green for the puzzle pieces, and the puzzle pieces were the leaves. So like I said, I'll try to find that video and link that for you if you want to check it out. It may have been on my other channel because I used to do all of my DIYs on that channel, and then I fairly recently moved over and started this channel. So anyways, we're going to get all of them painted, and you don't really know how many you need until you get going. I actually ended up doing pretty good with guessing on the number, but these are going to paint, or these are going to dry really quickly, and you're just going to want to paint however many you think you need. If you need to go back and paint some more, that's fine. It depends on how big you're making your sign. If you are new here and maybe just stopping by because of this Try It Tuesday challenge, welcome. My name is Leanne. I love sharing budget-friendly DIYs with you, often using Dollar Tree items, although not exclusively, but that is often what I'm using. And I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave by hitting that red subscribe button, and hit the notification bell before you leave as well. That's going to pop up next to the subscribe button, and that makes sure you get notified every time I post a new video, which right now I've been posting twice a week, usually on Tuesday or Thursdays. That might vary if I participate in a challenge that doesn't fall on one of those days, but that is my goal, at least for now, to do 2 videos a week. Now that my frame is dry, I'm going to also go over it and dry brush it with the color Mineral from Waverly as well. And this I am doing pretty similar to how Caitlin did hers. I'm doing a little bit of variation, but not a ton. So definitely check out her video though for some different instructions and some different details. Yeah, she definitely did a fantastic job. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, I need to do this. And I have been waiting for a Try It Tuesday challenge in the fall to do this video. I've had this one written down for a long time, or to do this DIY rather, because I knew it would be perfect for that challenge. So now I'm just going to freehand on this piece here with a pencil, kind of the shape of a pumpkin, and then I'm just popping it in the frame to make sure it's going to all be seen. And we're going to start gluing on the puzzle pieces. Now I decided to use wood glue here. It dries clear and it doesn't have any of that bulk that like hot glue sometimes does. She used hot glue and that worked well for her. So I would say do what you want. I think I actually used all wood glue in this video. I didn't even plug in my hot glue gun. So you're just going to kind of go in the shape of a pumpkin. Now she also painted on her pumpkin stem, and I think she did that before she put the puzzle pieces down, and she just freehanded that. I'm going to use something else for my stem, so that's why I'm not doing that yet, but if you want to paint it on, probably do it before you put the puzzle pieces on. And I started by just going around the perimeter of the pumpkin and then filled in the inside, and then went back with second and third layers in certain places to just kind of fill in any gaps and give it some nice dimension. So once you have it the way you're happy with, you're done with the pumpkin. I am using this little wood piece as my stem, gluing it on with the wood glue. This is just from this bag that I had from, I think, the Dollar Tree a couple years ago, and I had a little piece. And yeah, so I'm going to pop this frame back on just to make sure everything is where it needs to be. Again, with the wood glue, you do need to give it a little time to dry. And then I have this wood word. This is from a pack I had from, I think, last year's Target Dollar Spot. And it does have stickers, but I'm going to add some wood glue just because it won't be like laying flat, and I wanted to make sure it attached well. But Dollar Tree also has some, or you could use some of the wood letters and write whatever word you want on there. And then I'm just going to make a little bow here, just wrapping it around my fingers and just using some twine. And then I am going to, you just wrap it around your fingers, tie it in half. I'm not like a bow person, so this is just an easy way to make a little bit of a thicker bow than just like a shoestring bow. And then I use a lighter to burn off any fuzzies. You don't have to do that, but this twine I find to be pretty fuzzy, and I like kind of like the burnt look that it gives the twine anyway, so it works out. And then because my wood glue was out, I just attached this also with the wood glue, and that is it for this one. I think it's super cute. I love, love, love how this came out. And maybe I'll do something like this for Christmas. I'm not sure yet, but I just love the look. It's super fun, and yeah, love how this one came out. Moving on to our next one, I've got a frame, a wooden palette from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm using these stickers. These again are also from Target from last year. They were only $1. But you can use anything you want for words here. My frame happened to have this little plaque holder thing, so I'm pulling that off, and we're going to fill that in from this. I never remember what this is called. It's not wood filler, but it's something from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to start by painting this palette in some white Waverly chalk paint. Now, my inspiration for this one came from Bargain Bethany, and I'm doing it actually pretty similar. I think she used a slightly bigger frame, but I'm making this work, and I'm kind of changing up the colors I'm doing just because of the color of the words that I'm using. But you can check out her video, see how she did this. So while my little palette was drying, I did paint it all sides and in between the palettes, and I did the back of it just to give you that heads up. And then I'm going to stain this with Waverly's Antique Wax. Now the sides of it were like just MDF board, and so I kind of had to just put that on a little bit thicker, but then I was able to wipe it off. The front of it really absorbed it really well. Anyways, I think I edited too much of this footage out because I'm talking too much. I can't keep up with it. I pulled the little prongs out from the back that held in the back of the picture frame, and I'm using wood glue to glue on this palette, just centering it up, and gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna add on these letters. And these I did check out ahead of time that they were gonna fit. They fit, you know, pretty closely, but they do fit just fine. And I didn't fully center them vertically because I didn't want the middle of the H or the middle of the E to be over one of the blanks in the palette, like the open slats, if that makes sense, because I thought it would just disappear. So I raised it up just a little bit, and we're just attaching these on. And then I decided to do another little twine bow. I don't think Bethany did that in hers, but that's it. I did also, and I don't think I remember to show it, I did hot glue a little tumbling tower block on the back just to help this stand up a little bit easier. And I think I said hot glue it. I didn't hot glue it. I used wood glue. Anyways, isn't this super cute? It may even fit on my tiered tray. I'm not sure. My tiered tray is not super big. Maybe I need a second tiered tray. Maybe that's what I need to do. Anyways, okay, that one was super cute. We're moving on to our third and final DIY. This is also from Crafts by Caitlin, and this is going to be in the same video that the other one was. So that again is linked below. I am doing this a little bit differently. I just pulled a jar from my stash. It had food in it at some point, and this lid, which actually didn't properly fit the jar, but it sets on it just fine. And I'm just using some scrap burlap. I think it's from a burlap bag from Dollar Tree. And once again, I use my wood glue because that's what I had out today. And I'm just going to glue that on and trim off the edges. And I'm only doing the top because we're going to do something else around the perimeter. Now in Caitlin's, she created a top and a base and used like a cylinder vase. So I'm doing it a little bit different. But that's kind of the beauty of it, right? You don't always have to replicate exactly. You can if you want, but you can also just kind of get some inspiration and do your own thing. And I had this little wood piece in my stash. You can get them at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. And I used, I think I'm using the color Pavement. It's an acrylic paint by Apple Barrel. I didn't want a stark black because the candle holder that I'm using for the base for mine is actually a perfect match to this. So this worked out really good, and I just put it on the end of a paintbrush so I could stick this in a jar and let it dry. And then I've got this buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree that I found super recently. I don't think it was in their fall stuff, but I picked it up because I knew I'd be using it fall, Christmas, whenever. And then this would have been a little bit easier with hot glue, but I'm just using my craft glue, which is also from the Dollar Tree. And we're just going to wrap that around and secure that. This bottle is a little bit hard to squeeze, but the glue works really well. So, you make do. Make sure that you check out all of the links in the description box so you can see the original videos from those who I got this inspiration from. I loved this idea because I wanted some decor that was just not like necessarily a sign, and I also love incorporating lights into my decor, especially for fall and Christmas. I just think it's so warm and cozy. So I have these little fairy lights, which are from the Dollar Tree, and I'm stuffing them in the jar and adding in this pumpkin and pine cone vase filler that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I thought it was a great deal, great value, but Dollar Tree does have some similar, they're just much smaller bags, but that can work. And I'm just fitting in the lights and kind of squishing them in as I add in more of the filler and then popping the lid on. And I love how this came out. Sometimes things with the lights don't don't appear the same on camera. I ended up just tucking the little battery pack underneath. You don't necessarily have to do that, and I may not, depending on when I display this, everything else that's around it. There might be another way to hide it, or you could wrap some burlap around it or something like that, or just leave it. It's not that big of an eyesore, but I love, love, love how this one came out as well. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's video. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. Hit that thumbs up button down below. That really helps me out. And if you are new and you haven't yet subscribed, I would love it if you would consider hitting that red subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. Once again, don't forget to check out Sammy's channel and the playlist where you'll see lots of more wonderful, creative, inspired ideas. It's all going to be linked down in the description box. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.